Hi, I'm Chaz Draycott here with Anthony Jordan at Buckmore Park for the 2019 Buckmore 24 Hours. We've got qualifying going on currently at the moment, and conditions have been very difficult for everyone this morning. Anthony, we've seen a lot of different sort of lines taken throughout practice, and people are obviously giving it everything they've got, but I do you reckon it's going to affect them throughout the whole race?
Well, we've seen it throughout practice and qualifying today. Different driving lines that we've seen out there. Obviously, some drivers still going for that wet racing line. Obviously, the conditions are still wet. It's the ideal line. But again, with so many karts on the circuit, it's interesting to see where people have been going. But, you know, throughout, I think it's going to be a really interesting race at the start.
And with 29 teams on track, obviously, we've got quite a variation in talent as well. We've got the Clubman class and the Pro class, of course, designated by different number boards on the karts. Brand new slicks on all of them as well, actually, so that's been quite interesting. We've been watching people sliding around all morning.
Yeah, no, earlier we were told that these karts have gone out on brand new slicks. They haven't even been scrubbed in yet, and they're going out on a wet surface, and I think, oh, that's going to be, it's like driving on ice. I'd love to give it a go, though.
Yeah, it'd be a massive amount of fun. We've been speaking to some of the organisers as well throughout the morning, of course. A lot of changes to the track. Curbs have used to have sausage curbs there. Obviously, they were launching the karts into the air, which some of them found quite more amusing than we might have done, but they've been removed. People have been instructed to at least go hard, I think, is what the phrase has been used. But yeah, the driver briefing was quite interesting for stuff like that as well.
Yeah, driver briefing was interesting. I say we were in there. It was a good lengthy briefing, but obviously went over everything. A few silly questions from some of the drivers, and I think the most interesting part was the novice drivers. I think that were involved in that, and I think most of them are part of the WTF1 team, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, there's some of the WTF1 guys here today. YouTuber Jimmy Broadbent as well taking part in the event. I know that he'll probably be making a video of this, of course. But yeah, some of the novice guys, as Anthony says, were getting slightly roasted in the driver briefing, but it was entertaining for everybody to see, of course, as well. We are going to do a grid walk in a little bit. That should be quite fun. We actually have a Le Mans start for today as well, which should be good fun.
We do, yeah. Now, I did have a bit of questions for this one. Le Mans start, and I know this is an NK registered circuit, and they were a bit funny about these, but it's kind of a guinea pig sort of thing, and I'm really curious to see how well it goes. I've never seen one in real life. You know, I've always seen them on the videos and they always look cool. Actually witnessing one, I'm really looking forward to it. I think this is going to be absolutely fantastic start.
And it's a nice way to mix it up as well for the drivers, of course. Like with yourself, not seen one before. They might not have done one before. Yeah. There's a lot of different regulations and things behind that, of course, that we've been trying to get our heads around. There's plenty of us to look at. But it's going to be an absolutely awesome event. We're hoping that the conditions are changeable throughout, which might throw a bit of a spanner in the works, we reckon. But it started out dry this morning, didn't it? And it's got worse.
It did, yeah. I arrived, the circuit was dry. It started to rain. Funnily enough, the weather forecast said it was going to start raining at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So I don't know where this rain has come from, but hopefully it's going to dry out. We should have a dry section through the night, which should be excellent, I think.
And of course, that's going to be one of the main interesting points of it, is throughout the night, how the drivers can cope with it. People might not have done this before on such a large circuit as well. One thing that we noticed, we've both discussed this already, it's a very oscillating track compared to what you see on the pictures.
Yes. Now, this is the first time I've been here, and from all the photos that I've seen, it looked like a flat circuit. I've arrived here, and the first thing I said was, that's a big hill. And the camber changes through some of the corners as well. You've got positive, negative camber as well on some of them. In these conditions as well, it's really tricky. Yeah.
And there's especially one of the final corners on the track, which we can't actually see from our spot, which is going to be one of the more interesting ones. It's a hairpin. As you come in, the camber goes away, and it tightens on the actual mid part of the corner, and then on exit, you're going back down the hill again. So to see the guys get the power down, I mean, we might pop out there later on to go and have a look, but yeah, it should be interesting to see who comes out of that corner in front of who they were behind.
No, definitely. I'd say such a fantastic circuit. It's been upgraded massively throughout the years recently with the new red curbs out there and the new curbs as well. I know that the turn one curb was brand new only a few weeks ago, I believe. Yeah. So yeah, really impressive to see how quickly they've managed to get it done. So fantastic.
And it is such a scenic circuit as well. I mean, we just a minute ago were out on the balcony having a look around all the wonderful scenic routes that you can take around the outside of it to at least go and have a ganders. But yeah, really pretty place to be. And of course, we are grateful to be here. It's really good fun. We've had a great morning so far. But yeah, plenty of time left to go. No, of course, indeed, until the race is underway as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure until qualifying is just finished, I believe, or is it still going on?
We have a board in view, 2 minutes 37 seconds left to be precise.
There we go. You can see that, I can't. It's just out of my view. But no, excellent. But yeah, qualifying just finishing. Obviously, I'll be going down on the grid shortly to talk to some of the drivers do there, and we should hopefully get that Le Mans start for you. But of course, while you're following the live stream as well, you've got your your little thing there. I think you can just see it in my shot there. The BP 24-hour hashtag on that, and YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, anything like that. So we can see it. We'll get involved in it. And we'll try to get your comments out there. But it should be a fantastic 24 hours.
Definitely. And we also need to give a shout out to Starting Karting as well. Yes. You can follow them on all social media, Instagram especially. We have both done the same this morning. So we urge you to go and do that. Make sure that you give their page plenty of attention. Look through everything that they've got. But yeah, really interested to see how the qualifying goes. We've actually seen quite a good mix of the pro and clubman classes so far. We saw a couple of guys mixing it up there with the big boys.
Yes, we did. Say earlier on, I think it was Team LMS. They're one of the clubman teams. They were up in 5th place. Now that's great to see. So mixing them up. But obviously, those you saw in the driver briefing, you know, if you're a clubman car with your black and white number, if you see a sea of yellow numbers around you, don't get involved in battles with them. You know, you're not racing them. You're in a different class. So yeah, if they're up there though, if they qualify up there, it's going to be a bit difficult for them. So.
And also, obviously, it gives them a bit of a buffer to the guys fighting with them in their class as well. We saw Team Rango, I believe it was, that actually topped the practice times. Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see if there was anything done about that, because you would think that maybe a tweak here or there, but we'll have to see, I suppose, when it gets underway.
Well, yeah, so it's up to the race director's discretion there, and he's in a tower all the way over there, so he's nowhere near us, so we can't really tell him. But again, really looking forward to this one. I think this is going to be an absolutely fantastic race. Yeah. Fantastic race.
And we have seen a massive mixture of people turning up, of all sorts of novices, as we said before, to even, I believe there's some Sodi World Series drivers here as well, which we'll obviously point out as we go along. Yeah, but there's you see all sorts of drivers around, some of them in the Buckmore Park suits as such, rental helmets, but then even people with full on their own gear as well, and it's good to see that sort of range sometimes, because it makes the racing more spicy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a great mixture of drivers. You say new drivers coming in, this is a fantastic opportunity for them to get their name out there. You know, if they're starting in karting, wanting to get involved, again, it's all those ways of doing it. So yeah, it's really good to see. Really good to see.
Well, we only have a couple of minutes of qualifying left at the moment. Taking a quick glance out, it looks like it's the Brentwood Banter Boys that are top of the timesheets. We will be giving you a full rundown of all the drivers and teams as we go through, of course. Everyone will have to do driver changes. There will be fuel stops as well, where they have to do a driver change. We've had a lot of talk about track limits this morning as well. There's a lot of red painted tracks, which you'll see on stream, of course, where drivers have been instructed not to dip more than 2 wheels, really.
Yes. Now, in the safety briefing, again, the race director said he was more concerned about you not going on them because he's only just freshly painted them. Yeah. But I think it's more on the fact that it's cheating. You know, it's track limits. Everyone's got to adhere to that, and it's one of those. You know, if you're starting to go wide on some of the corners, you're not sticking to the track limits, and to say you're gaining time, you're gaining an advantage. But of course, in these conditions, they were told as well. You know, if you just see that you've lost the back end slightly and you've run off, it's okay. But it's of course all down to the race director's decision on that one. Yeah.
And of course as well, you've got to think of it from an actual racing scenario perspective, where can you risk going onto that paint in these conditions where we've seen it being very greasy? You never know, you can just dip one wheel onto it. There's, especially from where we're stood anyway, there's a corner down the hill, fast right-hander, big red area on the left-hand side. You never know, some people might risk it a little bit, get 2 wheels out there, and you could possibly see some big spins going down there because they carry a lot of momentum.
Yeah, there are some. I know the curves have been sorted out now, they're fairly flat, but they're still raised. It can still unsettle the car, and in these conditions, you put the throttle on that wrong spot, you are just losing the back end. And we've seen that. We saw a close call earlier, didn't we? Yeah, very close. Driver spun, ran out wide. Another car came flying in. Obviously, it just happened, had nowhere to go, and avoided him by just the skin of its teeth. So, it's really close out there, really close.
And that, of course, is going to play all the way through the race as well, not just qualifying and practice, where traffic may be an issue for people. With the wide range of talent that we do have here, you can lose even just a second here or there. It can make all the difference in the end. And, of course, we spoke to the race director earlier about the stop-go penalties, where they're 20 seconds in the pit lane. If a driver does get black flag for, be it track limits or any sort of safety reasons or anything like that, they do have quite a harsh penalty for the stop-go penalties. So it should be good to see if that actually comes into play and decides anything today, in either class, really.
Well, you're always going to get some sort of black flag. You know, drivers can always miss a yellow flag condition out there and everything like that. So black flags will occur. You've got 24 hours. But as I say, the race offence sheets sort of clear after 2 hours segments, because he didn't want to black flag people every 5 seconds, did he? So, so every 2 hours or so, the flags will clear. So, it should be, let's see how it goes, really.
And, of course, that makes it a bit fairer on specific drivers. We were told that the black flags actually carry over, if there's any warnings for track limits or anything like that, it does carry over to the team rather than the driver itself. So even if you've got a couple of warnings, you think, oh, I might get another cheeky one, dip 2 wheels on a red area, that doesn't actually just go as soon as you get out the cart and they have a fuel stop. it does carry on to the team. So you have to think about it in the long game, and of course that's the beauty of these endurance events. You have to think about the people that you're here with and what results might come out of your actions. It's quite a pressurising environment, really, isn't it?
Well, yeah, especially in terms of damaging the kart as well. You don't want to damage the kart for your next teammate to go out, and it's all that. But I think qualifying has finished now, so I'm probably going to head down to the cold grid. I shall brace it for you. Well, let's see how it goes. I'll leave you up here and enjoy it.
Thanks very much, Anthony Jordan there. So we've actually very nicely been provided with these jackets from Buckmore Park for this, which will be keeping us nice and warm. Anthony's going to go down, and do the grid walk. As he says, qualifying has just finished. It's been a very close session by the look of it. Just glimpsing out the window to the timing board, it's very, very close between the top at least 10. There's been a lot of different talent here today, as we have said. It's been a really, really good morning watching the guys practicing. As the conditions have got worse, the karts have got slippier. As we've said, there's been brand new slicks on these machines. They've been completely serviced, I must say. And it's made things a bit more interesting because they're not scrubbed in tyres. The track's not had any rubber on it since Tuesday, we've been told. So with this new weather coming in, it's going to really be unsettling the karts. And obviously the drivers, some of them have had more practice than others. Some of them are more experienced in the long run. So they've had a lot of different things to factor into their times. Everyone's been trying to get their practice in during this session, and even through qualifying as well. We've seen a couple of guys sending their fast drivers out to go and set a quick time, and then of course use the time to get the other drivers in just to get their eye in and just see what the track's like. But as it changes over the course of the race, it can really unsettle some people. So you'd have some drivers, for example, do a 2-hour stint. It may have still been wet, and then it might dry out for the next guys. So it's definitely something that we're going to be keeping an eye on throughout the entire race. And of course differing light conditions as well as we go through the night. The coverage, I believe, will be on until 9 p.m. this evening, and then we'll start again at 9 a.m. in the morning. There will still be coverage in terms of cameras, but of course we will not be commentating throughout the night. But once we get back on, we'll have to have a bit of a recap, see where we're at in the morning, and see whether fatigue is warning, of course. That is quite an overriding factor in these events. I mean, anyone that's done any 24-hour events in real life or anything on the esports side of things, or even just simulated, you'll know that 24-hour events are not easy to do. So it's great to see such a turnout of teams. I believe Anthony will still be on his way down to the grid at the moment. It is all the way over the other end of the circuit from where we are, but we've got a fantastic view out here, and we'll obviously call the shots from in the media room up at the top. What we can see from here is the top of the circuit, rather flat, but it's quite a dangerous section because it's 3 hairpins as you get down towards the bottom of the hill. Most of it is flat, so you'll be going through the right and the left as you go down the hill, which we can see straight in front of our window here. And then they go into a very tricky hairpin where the corner goes away from you as you actually go halfway round, and then back up, round Cafe Corner and onto the straight. So it's a very technical circuit actually for these karts. I mean, a lot of you may have seen karting circuits before, which are usually flat and usually quite, not basic. Basic's probably not the right word for it, but there's not that challenge of the different heights and the oscillation. Anthony is just on his way down to the grid now. You can see the karts which are being lined up for the Le Mans start. They will be pushed into their qualifying order, and then the drivers will have their second driver behind the kart to hold it into position to stabilise it, and the drivers will run over, jump in, and off they go, and that will be it for 24 hours. So we're just going to get Anthony now on the grid with us, I believe. He's just getting his microphone sorted as far as I know, but as you could see there, the conditions, not the easiest for these guys. It's got wetter and wetter. I mean, just looking out the window, it's getting even worse. There's still a slight drizzle. It did start around sort of 10 a.m. this morning, so just before practice. And it's going to be interesting to see whether, when the karts have been left for a little bit before the race start, whether it does actually change anything. Because at the end of the day, I mean, you can see from the camera there, look, it's absolutely covered. There's a lovely bit of runoff area there, which the race director will not want them to be going near. But yeah, it's going to be a fantastic challenge for them all. We're really looking forward to seeing it, really looking forward to calling the shots. I know Anthony and myself have been very excited. We haven't stopped talking about it all morning. But the guys have made us feel very welcome here. It's a very, very good community as well. We've had a chat to some of the drivers, some of the people involved, and everybody's in really high spirits for this. The weather hasn't put a dampener on it at all, and so it should be a really, really good overall event. I believe the karts are just finishing being lined up now. Just out the corner of my eye, I can see them heading to the grid one by one. There's 29 teams so far that have entered for this one. So there is plenty of karts to be out on track at once. and going through those first few corners will not be easy, especially on colder slicks into a braking area that's actually caught a lot of people out this morning. We've seen a lot of people spinning on entry, trying to get the kart slowed down, and then even trying to get it back on the power on the exit. We've seen people sliding and sliding, because where we stand from the balcony, you can see directly straight behind the karts, so you can really see them getting the opposite lock on and trying not to dip the wheels on the grass on the exit, which, as you all probably know, will help to spin the kart around and rotate it very, very quickly. They are operating a light board system here today for the flags, so the drivers will be very brightly notified of anything that's going on. Big shining yellow lights for the yellow flags, and of course coming into the pit lane on the back straight is going to be a real challenge for them. They come from a very high speed section into their driver change booth and where they get the fuel done, so there's really a lot to think about for these guys as the race goes on. And I believe we should have Anthony with us right now, so we're just going to switch over to him and he's going to go through the grid with us.
So we are down on the grid with some of the teams. As you can see, the karts are all lined up there ready, and the drivers will be coming out shortly. Now, qualifying results, a few surprises that we've got out there. Some of the Clubman teams up in the top 3. We've got the LMS team in the number 17. You can see it there, second on the grid with the black number there. So that's one of the Clubman teams in mixed with the pros. Again, another one, the number 28, that is All-Stars. They're also up here with the top guys. So interesting field already that we've seen. Now, as you can see as well, karts are just being fueled down there. Got a long line to go, but this is where that Le Mans style start is going to happen. Now, I'm intrigued to see how this goes. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. I'm really looking forward to it. See drivers all getting ready in the background there, but the weather conditions have not improved. It's still raining. It's still a bit chilly, and I haven't got many layers on, so I'm getting quite cold already. But as I say, it should be absolutely fantastic to see how this race goes. 24 hours endurance racing. It's the second one that Buckmore Park has done. The first one, we won't recap back to that one purely because they didn't have, I think, permission to do it. But they've got all the permission for this one, and this should be a brilliant race. Really looking forward to it. And of course, a lot of staff here, a lot of drivers. Should be absolutely fantastic. Quick rundown of orders as well. We can do that. Your top team, obviously Brentwood Banter, number 6 car. They've qualified on pole. The LMS team, as I've just been tripped on, is in the second position. But actually, they're just doing a quick announcement at the moment. And I believe they're going to start the team photos as we were doing the order there. But you've got the Brombo Racing in the number 1, they're 3rd. Outlaws in 4th place. Quebec All-Stars in 5th. WTF1, the guest team, in 6th position. Sims Design Racing in 7th position. Club 73 Karting in 8th. Team Camo in 9th. And then rounding up the top 10 is XLR8 Racing and the number 5 car. So that's your top 10 in terms of qualifying. Now, they're going to start doing all the photos just shortly, and we'll see how that gets on. But as I say, with weather conditions deteriorating, it didn't say any rain on the forecast, but yeah, that's racing unfortunately for you. It happens when you've always got a big event on. Rain always comes out of nowhere and surprises the most people. But here come some of the drivers now as they come onto the grid. So as you can see, they're starting to get their cells sorted out for photos. Here's one of probably the youngest driver on the grid, Fraser Brunton. This driver here, definitely one of the smallest on the grid, but he is quick. He is a very quick driver. We might have a quick chat with him later, if we can. We've got Benedict Racing there going to the grid as well, in the black and blue suit with the pink armband. Again, we'll be going through the drivers as some frantically wave their hands. So obviously all these drivers, some experienced, some not experienced. There's Jimmy Broadbent there, also with one of the producers from WTF1. And they're jumping towards their kart now as well. This rain really isn't improving. This rain is it's really starting to come down now. I've made all my hair nice and all for nothing, all for nothing. But no, this is excellent to see all the drivers coming down. Here's another YouTuber, Tim Marmaduke, I think it is. It's quite a confusing one, a lot of T's, a lot of M's, but very, very famous YouTuber there making his way to his kart. More inclined with the F1 esports side of racing. You can see they're having a good old safer there with most of the rest of the team. So we'll head out onto the grid. We will see who we can talk to as we go down. Long line of karts, 29 karts in total involved in this one. And again, this is your number 12 team just here. This is your WTF1 team. A lot of drivers in that team, of course, 24 hours with many of the drivers there. Not sure who we've got seated at the moment, but of course taking all their photos at the moment. They seem to be doing their own videos at the moment, but we'll try get a word with one of them if we can. Let's see if we can jump in here. So WTF1, how are we doing? Is it your first time? It's not your first time here. Obviously, you had the Grand Prix event that you did here not long ago. Who was here for that one?
Not me. Not everyone else, pretty much.
Everyone.
New drivers. We're the backup drivers.
You're the backup driver, so you weren't invited for. You were at that one. Okay, but how are you finding the circuit in these tricky conditions, guys?
Difficult. Yeah.
Difficult.
Well, yeah.
Difficult. Yeah, it's really slippery. Challenging. Yeah, I'd say this morning you were on brand new slicks. They weren't even bedded in yet. And of course, it's really difficult to bed the tyres in these slippery conditions. So how to say, they look pretty well now. In fact, I think I can still see the yellow marks on it. So you've not bedded them in that well then?
Well, I mean, my strategy was to just spin a lot, and that was going to warm the tyres up and getting bedded in. I think it's working out pretty well.
Yeah.
So, probably not for the race, though.
Yeah, I definitely don't think it's a good idea for the race. But of course, 24 hours, the first thing you don't want to do is spin through turn 1 or 2.
Yeah, well, luckily that's not going to be me. It'll be someone else.
That'll be someone else. Oh, excellent. So that person draw the short straw. Excellent. Well, best of luck, guys. Really good luck for the race. Cheers. So that's the WTF1 team with the number 12 karts. Keep a very close eye on them. Qualified 6th on the grid. Moving down, further down, we've got some other teams. We've got the number 9 kart here. Now, this is Clubman 73 Karting. Now, I recognise some of these drivers, so we'll have a quick chat with them just to see how they're going. If we can try and grab a quick word. I think they're getting their team photo first, actually. No, he's going to come back to them. But hi, guys. Grab a quick word for the live stream. So you are in the number 9 kart. You've qualified. Where have you qualified? You're 8th position. So how are you looking forward to the race?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. We think we can go forward from our grid spot. Conditions are very, very tricky today. Very slippery out there. With a bit of luck, maybe a dry, but I very much doubt it. So yeah. Should be interesting.
Excellent. Are you the starting driver? You are. Right. What is your tactic for turns 1 and 2?
Don't get taken out.
Don't get taken out. That sounds good. Yeah. You're not going to take anyone out, though, are you?
No, of course not.
Excellent. No bandit moves here. No, excellent. I'll keep an eye out for that yellow lid as well, guys. Best of luck for the race, guys. Really hopefully look forward to it. Cheers. So that is the Clubman 73 car. We're getting in the way of photos again, and we're getting away of the camera. This is quite a new team as well. This is the number 3. This is Team Camo. Team Camo, yes. How are you looking forward to the race?
Yeah, it's good. No, it's going to be good. I think this is our third 24-hour altogether. So, yeah.
Excellent stuff. I think if you're still getting photos, I won't bother you because it looks like you're all preparing for a photo and I've just barged in there. I'll leave you to it. Cheers, guys. Moving further down the grid, we've got the 19 car. Now, this is a new one here. This is the HWB Racing. Now, this is another one of the Clubman cars in the mix with some of the pro teams. So we'll try to have a quick word. Hi, guys. So you are HWB Racing. You've qualified 11th, and you're in the mix with some of the pro teams. Do you expect that to happen?
No.
No. Who was the driver in qualifying? You're a qualifier. Okay, I've asked this question already once, but what is your tactic for the start of the race?
That's for you to say. That's between us and us.
That's between you only. Oh, well, I thought I was going to get some backside info there. I'm not going to tell the other teams, of course, unless my pockets aren't empty. But no, they are. They are. Excellent. Best of luck for the race, guys. Have a good one. Now the number 2 car, this looks like a very professional team. Benedict Racing here. They've got their pit board. They've all got matching uniforms as well. Guys, how are we looking forward to the race?
That's our team boss.
That's your team boss. Let's talk to the team boss. There we go. Right, well, is this your first 24-hour here?
It is. We usually do the 6-hour here, so familiar track for us. Okay. Looking good, happy with the grid position, just see where we are in 24 hours' time.
Yeah, exactly that. And I say challenging conditions. I've asked this question a lot already. What is your strategy for the start?
Go as fast as we can.
Go as fast as you can. So that's in it. Go as fast as you can. I've had not get taken out or to be taken out. But yeah, no, excellent. Best of luck for the race, guys. Look forward to seeing you on there. Cheers. Further down the grid now, we've got some of the other teams. So that was the, who was that again that we were just talking to? I think that was, I can't remember. But this is the number 31, Team CMF. This looks like a well-organised team here. You've got your teammates here. Who's starting the race, guys?
Jason,
you draw the short straw, yes? Let's come round, let's talk to you. So were you out in qualifying as well?
I was, yes.
You was. How are the track conditions for you?
Wet, surprisingly.
Wet? No, I wouldn't doubt that. Yeah. But it's really slippery out there.
Yeah, I mean, we've started 16th. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
We can do.
I say you've got a Le Mans style start.
Yeah.
This is an ideal opportunity to try and get in a few places. Because of course, if you don't slip and get into the car, touch wood somewhere.
Hopefully more weight to keep the wheels down.
Obviously, safety roof, and they said don't jump 4 feet. So I'm expecting to see you jump from that white line over there into the seat. Yeah.
We'll try.
No, we'll try. Excellent. Best of luck for the race, guys. Really good. Excellent. So moving further down, as we're getting away in some more photos here, as they're going there, some of the nice helmet designs there. But we'll talk to this team, the 25. Now you are Buzzing Pals Racing, yes? So you were talking to me earlier about one of your drivers who's just
This guy here, yeah, he was just a late turn up. He was like that, so I just wanted to make sure you knew who it was with what armband that was on.
Excellent. No, we do know him now, but looking forward to the race, guys.
Oh, yes. These sort of races, they come along maybe once or twice in every couple of seasons, so, you know, they're a test to you. Before you beat anybody else here, you've got to beat the circuit, especially with the weather the way it is today, so, yeah, it'll be good. It'll be very, very good today.
Excellent. I say, really challenging conditions. You've got the Le Mans style start. Have you ever done a Le Mans style start before?
Never.
Excellent. Who's starting the race?
No,
He's gone. He did a runner. He's interviewing people. And so, no, did a runner.
In his sprints, I think he's got Usain Bolt sort of locked up over there, and I think he's borrowing a set of blocks from him.
Oh, excellent.
I think that's what's happening anyway.
Well,
so.
I expect to see this at the front then for the start.
Yes.
Excellent. Best of luck, guys. Best of luck. Cheers. So we've got the 20 car here as well. We're looking quite far back. This is Team Rango, 18th position. White Racing here in the number 29 car. Now this is more all into the Club C races. Okay, so we'll try and get one more interview out. We've got a big team over here. They're all in their own. They're all in the Buckmore Park suits. Let's have a quick word with these guys if we can. It's the number 22 car. This is Hook 1. Interview for you guys before the start of the race. So is it your first stag do?
Stag do.
You're doing a 24-hour endurance race for your stag do?
Yeah. One of two.
One of two.
Yeah,
so you
the
got
other one's Le Mans 24 hour.
Oh,
we're not
excellent.
doing that. We're just drinking and participating.
You're just drinking.
Yeah.
You're participating?
Not here, yeah.
No, okay. You know, you can't drink and drive here, of course. No, excellent. Well, you are down in 22nd place in the number 22.
Here.
Thanks to this one, yeah. So, quick guy, is he?
Seems to be.
Down in 22. You mean
yeah.
You're up in 22nd place. There we go.
22 out of 70, isn't it? There's 70 on the grid, isn't there?
29, unfortunately. No.
Close.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, Le Mans style start. You're looking forward to it?
Yeah.
Excellent. Very best of luck to the race, guys.
Thank you.
We'll see you out there. Cheers, guys. Well, I think we're going to be heading back up to the studio now, so we will send you back up there.
Brilliant stuff there, Anthony. Thank you very, very much. Interesting thing that we just wanted to note from the grid is that for the front row, we've got the number 6 kart of Brentwood Banter alongside the number 17 kart of LMS. Now, Brentwood Banter are in the Pro category, while the kart alongside them, the number 17 machine, is actually one of the Clubman class. So, nice mixed front row. Looking down the order, we actually have another of the Clubman cars, which will be 5th, which is the number 28 of the Gibtech All-Stars. Other than that, it's all pro teams as far as I can see in the top 10, and then HWB Racing are 11th. So a nice mixture in the grid, and as we said from practice and qualifying, there's actually been some really, really good widespread talent in this one, and it's nice to see the Clubman guys mixing up with the pro boys, and it'll be interesting to see through the course of the race how that works out with traffic as well, because if you've got a kart that you would consider to be in the lower class or even a higher class than yourselves, then to find yourself racing them on the similar pace will actually come as a shock to some of these drivers. So it'd be good to see whether they can get moves done or use it to their advantage, or whether it hinders anybody really. As you can see at the moment, the wind is blowing quite strongly here currently, and the rain has not relented yet. It's a very, very light rain though, so it shouldn't be getting much worse, but you can see just how wet the circuit is currently. And it's going to be very tricky for these drivers, especially now the karts have been sat for a little while, to see how they handle it. And we should have a couple of minutes until the race start. You can see the guys clearing the grid now. The drivers on the left-hand side that we stood on the grass will be their secondary drivers, which will be just holding the karts in place to stabilise them, while the drivers that will be starting the race will line up on the right-hand side. And if you've never seen a Le Mans start before,
you're going to absolutely love this, because what the drivers on the right will be doing is running over to the karts, hopping in, getting ready to go, and that will literally be it, and off they go for 24 hours. So there's a lot looming over this now to make sure that they get this start right, keep it as smooth as possible. And of course, you don't want to be losing any time that you may have put in qualifying as well, because all that effort in qualifying could be quite quickly messed up by a scruffy start here if they don't get things underway very quickly. And we have a very cold Anthony Jordan back with us now. Anthony, how was that for you?
Cold. You took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, absolutely freezing out there. The wind is picking up, but the rain is the worst part about it. I did my hair, it was all nice, and then I agreed to do the grid walk, and then I thought this was a mistake. And my feet as well are quite wet, so I've got cold feet, cold hands. This is going to be a long 24 hours. Yeah,
I'm too vain for the rain. I think that's why we sent you out, really.
But, well, yeah, I don't mind the rain. I don't mind the rain at all. It was good. I say that, it's a big lie. I hate the rain. But no, exactly. So 24 hours of racing coming up. The drivers are lining themselves up. Now, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, very. I was just explaining the whole process of how a Le Mans start works. You're going to see the guys on the right-hand side run across, and the guys on the left are just going to stabilise the karts for them. But another point I just raised as well is that you could actually lose a couple of positions off this start. There is a lot to it.
There really is. I mean, it sounds simple. You run across, you jump in your kart, you go. You've got to get in the kart first. You don't want to slip. It's wet. The karts are wet. The seats are wet. The pedals are wet. Your kart could get a bad start off the line. You know, anything like that could happen. Obviously, we don't want that to happen, but you can see there from that picture how wet the track is. The track was dry, but here they are. They're lining up. We're going to get going very, very soon for 24 hours here at Buckmore Park. And there they're off. They're off. They're into the karts. There's the number 6. They've got a good entry into it. There they go. We're underway. The flag is waving. There's more karts. There's the 28, the number 8 as well, and 12. They're all side by side going into turn 1. This is absolutely amazing as they're going in. Watch that slippery conditions, guys. Some of them running wide, very wide off there for the number 17. And a couple of spinners, I think, further in the back.
Yeah, the number 28 machine there, the Jibtech All-Stars, was just explaining that they are one of the Clubman guys that have actually qualified quite high up in amongst the Pro Boys. They got a really good start, went around the outside of 2 karts there, but not sure whether they made it stick out of turn 1. You can see they're all just running wide. They're trying to get every little bit of momentum they can. They're 4 wide there coming out of turn 3. Nearly going onto the grass. They're over the race director's red paint that he's going to be complaining about afterwards, I'm sure. But you can see now that the number 6 machine of Brentwood Banter out in front, and I believe that is Goldsmith in the car, who we were actually watching in practice and seemed very, very quick.
They were indeed, but the more thing I'm more concerned about is actually the LMS team in the 17 car. They've gone backwards. They started on. There's a spin in the background. It's the number 16 car, I believe. Looks like Team Time Attack. Started 14th place. They're definitely not in 14th place now, as we're looking at the number 19 and 11 and 31 kart. They're just further back down on the grid on my screen as they're coming across. Your current leaders, as and when they cross the line, here they go. So you've got Bromo Racing. They are still leading the way. Jibtech All-Stars in the number 28. They're still in second. Oh, no, it's all changing now. So, no, it's Brentwood Banter, sorry, in second place. Now it's the timing screen's just updating. And then Bromo Racing second, and Jibtech All-Stars in third. Now, they're still one of the Clubman teams there, and they are still flying third position. But, of course, at the start of the race, we've still got 23 hours and 58 minutes to go.
Yeah, there's plenty of time to go left. But, yeah, the LMS team, though, like you say, nightmare start for them. That spin in the background as well. I believe the number 25 machine, which is Buzzing Pals Racing, got involved. Quite a big hit for the driver there, but they carry on. The sturdy little machines, these Sodi Karts. And you can see drivers there actually leaning to the outside tyre of the car, just trying to get any bit of grip they can as they come down the hill. Lots of sideways action, of course, and you can see it's plenty of dicing all the way up and down the field. The number 28 machine there of the Jibtech All-Stars in third place overall. Down the inside is the number 9 machine, that's Club 73.
I was speaking to these guys on the grid, very, I don't think new to the circuit, but I've seen them a lot in lots of karting endurance races. These guys are definitely up there, and that's, of course, why they're in the pro class. But absolutely fantastic show from all the drivers so far. Barely any spins, and lap times already coming in. New personal best, or new fastest lap of the race, a 109.2. So very fast from the Brentwood Banter boys there in the number 6 car.
Yeah, and of course we were talking lap times earlier on in the day, and they were sub 50 seconds, some of the lap records that we've seen around here before, so it just shows how much the wet conditions make it more difficult for them. Fastest lap of the race is a 109.2, as Anthony says, and you can see there Goldsmith really sort of gently drifting the car into the corner there. You just got to keep the momentum up. The number 8 machine, they're really sideways. That's Outlaws. And oh, someone really going wide there. You can see just how difficult it is on the brakes to get it stopped for turn 2. And he comes back on there. Didn't quite see the number on that one. Try and keep an eye out of the window as well when the
yeah, of course. There's another spin just on the screen. Now the 23. Now that looks like both of those drivers ended up on that red curb. They were on the red outside, on the paint. They hit the brakes, slippery, and they just lost the back end. So drivers, if you can hear me, stay off those red curbs.
Yeah, they're really struggling there. The number 31 machine, that's Team CMF. He's now under pressure from No Idea. The number 30 kart, probably one of the best team names out there, to be fair. But there is number 1, Bromu Racing, second place at the moment, into turn 1. You can see, look at that, he's going around a right-hander and turning left. That's just how slippery these conditions are. But a lot of these drivers have good experience in karts, so they know just how to handle these things. And you can see there, Anthony, no one going for the inside line and no one going near the apex, because in the wet, a lot of the time the grip's on the outside.
No, of course, yeah, on the wet line, racing line is completely off the actual racing line. So compared to your normal dry racing line, yeah, you want to be completely off it. And yeah, it's much grippier on the outside of it. Brentwood Banter guys still leading 108.8 now, so the times are coming down, but of course the track conditions aren't improving. I just think that they are pulling a gap though. They've already cleared 4.9 seconds as one of the karts goes off there, and is that the number 8?
I believe it was Outlaws.
Outlaws, yeah, 4th place that was. They've just gone down a few positions, so when they next come across the line, we will definitely see where they've gone. There's your race leader currently at the moment. But of course, it's still a long time to go. There's another battle here. I think this is the battle for 2nd position. No, this is further down. This is a big group between 8th, 7th, 6th, and 5th place. Gibtech All Stars clearly had a spin somewhere because they're down now in 6th.
Yeah, definitely. But you can just see on the timing tower as well just how close these guys are still apart there. I mean, even though Bromu Racing are 5 seconds behind the leader, after that, Club 73 and the guys below them, 8 seconds all the way down to 13 seconds in 9th place. So nothing separating these boys. And the Gibtech All-Stars kart, they're really running wide out of turn 1. And he's involved in this battle now. The 15 machine is in there as well. I believe he's further down the order. Might be getting lapped at the moment, which we're going to see a lot of. And look at them chucking it in sideways. Yeah, they're really going for it.
They are really going for it. The WTF1 team, they are in the mix of that. They're in the number 12 car. Bit of contact side by side there by the number 10 and number 3. And that is the battle for 5th place. That's Team Camo and Team Big Lick. Now, I'm going to have to say that very slowly and precisely throughout this 24 hours. Really grateful to that team for that team name. Really do appreciate it. But again, your race leader still opening that gap as a couple of cuts have gone off there. I think I saw the 24 there. Now that looked like it was Red Camel Racing, yeah, so that's down in 22nd position. So teams at the back of the grid really struggling in these conditions.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting for those guys as well, because they have to think about the leaders coming back through. It may not be the smallest circuits in the world, but they're going to have a lot of the leaders coming through and trying to get back past them again. There's Gibtech All-Stars there involved in that battle. You can just see the actual oscillation of the track here as it goes up and down from that camera angle. You can see just how, as they're going to the back part of the circuit, it does dip back down. There's number 9 car of Club 73 Kart in 3rd place at the moment. But at the moment, Anthony, Brentwood Panther, 7 seconds clear, doing a fantastic job at the moment.
They've checked out, really, haven't they? But of course, still 24 hours remaining, you know, 23 hours, 53 minutes. They've only just started the race. They've got that gap. But, you know, that is still crucial. You want to open that gap. You want to open that just so you get an advantage in the first fuel stop. If your window opens 30 minutes into the race, from there, you know, teams might come in and top that tank up and go on different strategies. But, you know, you would have thought you're going to do the 2 hours, make the kart last as much as possible, and then do your driver changes. That seems like the most ideal strategy to me. But, of course, we'll see what teams do.
Yeah, and over the course of the event, of course, different things can come into effect for them. So you can never really plan a strategy that long. As the really, really rough racing there, Sims Design Racing and Gibtech All-Stars rubbing panels as they go around the hairpin, still touching on the exit. They're going to come into our view actually here as they go up towards Cafe Corner, both sideways on exit, giving it everything they've got. All over the curbs as well. Oh, someone off and into the barriers there as well.
It's a 17 car, so that's LMS. They actually had a track warning limit a second ago, and of course that's another reason why. So that team back there, so we have the number 3, 12 and 5 racing. Here's your race leader again, now 8.4 seconds clear. They have kind of checked out really, haven't they? They are on their way.
Yeah, and he looks very calm as well in his body language of how he's driving the car. He's not making too many large adjustments and really chucking it in. just using the exact amount of lock that he needs just to get it. It's all about momentum, really, isn't it? Carrying the momentum through these corners, especially when you're sliding around. And you can see there he's leaning slightly out of that corner just to get the weight transfer of the kart correct. Look, he's just
very smooth.
Yeah,
he's just out there for a Sunday drive, really, isn't it? It's just like this. It's easy. He's got it. No, really, really controlled driving there. And this is Cafe Curve we're looking at now, and that looks like the 28's just gone past. That's Jibtech All-Stars. Now, they've already had a contact warning board this early on into the race, and remember that carries on for the rest of the team, but only for 2 hours, so if they don't get anything else, that's absolutely fine. We've got the number 24 car here. This is Red Camel Racing again, further back. This is 24th place. Number 24, and the race leader already coming round to lap these guys. So these guys have already been lapped. He's lapped how many cars now? 5 karts?
Yeah.
Lapped now? So 5 karts in 9 minutes.
Fair play.
Is that a record? I'm sure it is. Here's the number 12 Cup. This is the WTF1 team, so absolutely fantastic to see them back here after their GP race. And there's the 28 getting very sideways there. That's an interesting tactic. I thought he'd lost it there. I thought that was a very ambitious move there, but there's Jibtech Racing. That's obviously their tactic of getting up there. Here's 5 and 8. This is 8th and 9th place. XLR 8 Racing and Outlaws. They are having a close battle there, of course, keeping that contact down as they're going through the mid part of the sector, going from sector 1 to sector 2 and downhill into this very tricky looking corner by the way it looks.
Yeah, definitely. As you're obviously going down the hill, the grip is coming to you as the kart levels out further down, but while you go over the crest, it's going to go away from you, so you'll be turning in, putting the lock on, as we see Jibtech here and the WTF1 team side by side into the hairpin. This is the corner we were discussing earlier, Anthony. It's very difficult because, as you can see, it goes over a crest part way round. It's called Garda. The 10th turn on the circuit, and a lot of these guys, especially in these conditions, they've really got to concentrate through there. But when you're battling, it's so hard to just get it right every time. You're going to really be trying to get every little bit of momentum you can, so it's easy to overdo it when you're trying to just get that little bit of time against your rivals.
Yeah, it really is. And say in these conditions, to go side by side, it's so tricky. And of course, if you get a slight tap from another car, it can really unsettle it. You straight off as the number 28 Jibtech again going very wide into the hairpin and losing a position to WTF1. So WTF1 taking full advantage of that mistake there from Jibtech All-Stars.
I think the number 3 in the background, I think it was Team Camo, actually spun out of that hairpin as well. There was a kart station. Look at how sideways they're getting into there. It's fantastic to see. Really exciting if you're a fan of drifting as well, of course. But yeah, it's so difficult for them. You can see just how much they want to get the momentum. But one interesting thing to note is that during the practice and qualifying, that's one of the that's the number 10 machine around there into the number 19. That's Team Biglick and HWB Racing, who are actually second in the Clubman category now, ahead of LMS. So they're now third, even though they started second on the grid. So not the best of starts. But I was just about to say, we noticed Team Rango, who are in kart 20, in position 20 at the moment. They were top of the timesheets in practice, so maybe that's down to which driver they've put in. What do you reckon?
It may be down to that. You know, you see practice is very different to the race. You get a different feeling when you're driving. You know this is practice. You're just checking it out there. You're having a bit of fun. You're just learning the circuit, and during a quick time or so. But when it comes to the race, your driver's mentality is totally different to what it is in practice, qualifying. And you see it in every single type of motorsport out there. That it's just a totally different session. Another contact warning for Outlaws. That's the number 8 car. They are running in 8th place at the moment. A lot of teams with the same car number in the same position. It's quite good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're just watching the Jibtech car there as well. They're going through. They're still running in 6th place, but first of the Clubman series and or the Clubman class. But as we go round there they are. Still, again, very controlled, really putting a lot of lock on there, leaning into the corners, but again, in these conditions, they understeer a lot.
Yeah, they certainly do, and that's the number 21 machine, a bit further down the order at the moment. They're just being lapped by these guys, trying not to interfere with their battle too much. Oh, you can see there, just having to get out of the corner a little bit there as the number 5 machine came through. That's XLR8 Racing. And they're so sideways through there out of Cafe Corner. We were watching them in practice from on the balcony. It was brilliant to see them just drifting past the window, wasn't it? They're going all the way around the building and you're just following it. And they're not even turning left, they're turning right.
They are turning right round the wrong way. And we saw a driver actually in qualifying, I think it was. It actually went straight on at that corner as well. I thought, oh, got that very wrong. And yeah, it just went straight on at those corners. There's the 28 now battling with the number 3 kart. That is Team Camo in 9th place. So I think they've dropped down. I think Jibtech Racing have had a bit of an accident there with one time, number 2. So they're still struggling there further down.
Yeah, it seemed to be sort of leaning into the kart and trying to push it along there as they came into shot. So not sure what's happened there, but I mean, to anyone in a controlled racing environment, these guys look like they're drifting all over the place like mad. But it's actually the best way to carry momentum in these karts, because on these they're still on slicks, bearing in mind as well. Yeah. And I tell you what, they're braver than I would be, Anthony. I don't think I could hack that.
Oh
really,
yes, no, I'm glad I'm in drive.
Oh, the contact between Camo and Jibtech. As the 17 gets involved as well. That's LMS. Real mess there. And the 21.
And the 21 as well. But of course, 21 is further down the order. So, but really unfortunate there for the 28-17. Jibtech going down now to 8th, Outlaws and XLR 8 Racing. Team Camo moving up now into 7th, 8th and 9th. You've got Benedict Racing in 10th place there as well. So there's your top 10. Now top 10 dominated by the Pro Car Series.
And interestingly enough, HWB Racing, though, just saw they came into the pits. They'd only just got within touching distance of LMS and Jibtech. They actually had a chance to probably take the Clubman class lead there, but they've come into the pits for whatever reason. I didn't see... they've had a black flag, actually. Checking our timing screen. They have had a black flag, so they've been brought in. Real unfortunate timing for them there, because they were just getting into the thick of it. And as we were saying before, timing's crucial in this, but especially early on, because that's when the field is most bunched up.
Yeah, exactly. Getting a black flag at this point in the race is not ideal at all. Really not helpful. Here's your race leader again. No black flags, no warnings reported from the number 6 car. Touch wood, they don't have that. But again, just such a controlled race by them so far. 12 laps in and clear by quite a big margin. Best lap, down to 1:08.8 now, so really quick times out there. But for these conditions, I should say, obviously, in the dry conditions, they're sub 1 minute, of course, aren't they? So, contact warning out there for the Diggers in the number 11 car. They are in 8th place. And, they're 34.9 seconds behind the number 6 car.
And interestingly to note there as well, on our timing screen in front of us, we have obviously what the best lap of the race is at the moment, but we have the best sector times as well, and all excuse me, all of those are currently taken by your race leader, Brentwood Banter, the number 6 machine who we're looking at now, navigating his way through traffic, and that's Team Time Attack in the number 16 kart that they're up against at the moment. Bit of standing water on the edge of the track as well, coming into the pit lane, which is quite an important part of it, and especially when it's on that paint as well. That could make or break a pit stop, really, because we were saying in the obviously the race director was saying in the driver's briefing that you can gain and lose a lot of time in the pits, and that could really add to it, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it really could. Standing water with slick tyres is not ideal in any form of racing. But here's the number 6 car putting a hand up. I think they've got yellow conditions out there at some point because he fall into a single file there. Can't see any yellow strobes anywhere. Oh, there you go. There's I think that was one of the marshals recovering someone there. So it looked like we had yellow conditions out there. So Brentwood Banter respecting the rules as well, which is good. Now, can you see a coloured armband on that car, the Brentwood Banter? Just trying to find out who the driver is.
I happen to know his name is Jack Goldsmith. Just because I was not to sound crude, I was admiring his helmet before the race. He's got a wonderful design on it, and it's very bold and it stands out quite a lot. So I believe he's quite the known karter around these parts.
Yeah, so I can see he's competed in 2 times 6 hour Buckmore champion. So
so he's got
the skill. He's got the skill. He knows the circuit well, and especially probably all conditions, which is why at this moment in time he's 14 seconds clear.
And on the list, we've been sent information about these teams as well, which we can bring you over the course of the event. It's been told for us that we've been given a list basically of the reasons that the teams are here, and what we've got listed for the Brentwood Banter team is they are here for the bants.
They're just here for the bants. That's excellent. That is absolutely fantastic, actually. Drive round in circles the fastest. That's their tactic, I think. Yeah, so drive round in circles the fastest, just here for bants. You get me.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's going well for him so far.
It is going well, yeah. The banter's working. So the banter's working out for them. Current rundown of your top 10 order with 23 hours and 42 minutes remaining. Leading the way is the number 6 car to Brentwood Banter, 14 laps complete and 13.6 seconds clear of Bromo Racing in second place at the number 1. Club 73 Karting in 3rd place on the number 9 kart. They're still running well with 4th place in the number 4 car, Sim Design Racing. 5th place is the Outlaws in the number 8, and then you've got your WTF1 team in the number 12 car running in 6th. 7th position is the XLR8 Racing in the number 5, and then 8th position is the 11th car, the Diggers. Team Camo in 9th position, the number 3. And then rounding out your top 10 is the first place Clubman car. And that is Jibtech All-Stars in the number 28. That is your top 10 at the moment. They're 41.5 seconds down the road from your race leader at the current moment.
And only up to 15th place are still on the lead lap as well already. And that's only, well, 15 minutes in, so it's 1 car a lap at the moment on the lead lap as it stands. You can see on the left-hand side there, 20th place. Badger's Best Racing not having the best of times, to pardon the pun. They're actually bottom of the pro class at the moment, but you never know. Plenty of time for him to make it back up, I think, goes without saying. But you can see here the battle between, you just saw it change on the left-hand side, LMS and Jibtech. They're actually battling for the Clubman class, which is good to see, because we were hoping for a really strong battle with those guys, because they have to consider all the pro teams coming through as well.
Yeah, they really do. Of course, that is the most difficult part of endurance racing, is when you are racing someone, but then you've got to let a faster driver through, and it ruins your momentum when you're racing with someone else. And, you know, of course, it ruins the other person's momentum as well, because they've also got to let them pass. But it's just finding that ideal time to do it, finding where's the best place for it. As you can really see the rain coming down now on that camera. You can really get an appreciation of how much it is raining here and how much these drivers are struggling with conditions. But yeah, further down the order, we could see there, I think it was the 24 Karts battling with 26. Of course, that's Red Camel Racing zoom ahead. It's still fairly close out there, with only 4 tenths between them. So they're still having a close battle further down. They are having an exciting race as the rain is coming on that camera there, as you can really see. I think that was the number 1 as it went past. I couldn't see because there's so much water on the lens. I'm sure that cameraman will wipe that lens at some point, hopefully in the near future.
You can just see, like Anthony was saying, it's only going to get more difficult for them as standing water will arise. That's that. Yeah, black flag from Misfit Mafia there in the number 18 kart. They are currently in 23rd position, 1 lap down. So we will see them come into the pits shortly. That is the number 9 machine of Club 73 karting there. Very vivid livery on that driver's helmet. Nice and easily identifiable.
Yeah, spoke to this team on the grid. Really nice team, friendly team, and it's great to see them actually up in 3rd place. And this driver's tactic was to not be taken out at the start, and to be honest, it looks like it's gone well. It's 3rd place, and yeah, 20 minutes into the race.
Yeah, and he's got a decent gap behind him, Sim Designs Racing, who, once again, same kart position as Number, which makes things nice.
Makes it really handy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But no, excellent. As they're going through, there's the 19 karts, and that's one of the Clubman teams. That's HWB Racing. Now, they had a black flag earlier. I'm not sure what that was for, actually.
No, I didn't see any warnings beforehand.
No, so it must have been, obviously in the safety briefing, they were told, you know, if you overtake under a yellow or something like that, a safety issue, you could get an instant black flag. Yeah. Or piling into a corner, if there's 2 karts in front of you and the cut behind, and then you come out first, you've probably taken some people out. So that may be of what happened. There's a number 19 car with a very striking orange and white liveried with a dash of green on the back there, and of course Union Jack on the top there. Very nice coloured helmet there. That's the 19 of still HW Racing in 20th. So having an interesting race so far, but of course already 1 black flag under their belt.
Yeah, they've got time to make it up, of course, but they'll be wanting to do that, like we said before. They want to get it done as soon as they can. Try and just get their heads down and make their way through. They've got a couple of their guys in their class ahead of them as well. Team CMF are 4th in that class at the moment. They're the last kart on the lead lap in 15th place in the number 31 machine. But the battle for the sort of top few pro spots is evened out now. Oh, the number 26 there, I believe.
Zoom ahead.
It was zoom ahead. You read that a lot quicker than I did. He zoomed ahead. Yeah, just losing it slightly on entrance there. Luckily, didn't go all the way round, but you can see now even some of the Clubman guys are actually having to lap other drivers in their own class as well, which just shows the spread of talent. We had a car stationary there by the look of it. Not quite sure that was on the back part of the circuit. It was difficult to tell from the shot, but look at these guys chucking it down the hill, and like I say, rain's still coming down.
Yeah, it really is piling it down now. This morning it was like a fine mist in the air, but now it's proper rain, and you can see the standing water start to increase. But of course, none of this was on the weather report. I don't know what weather report I was looking at, but it was clearly not for this area, because it said it was fine until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So, yeah, definitely not ideal. There's a number 16 car having a very close race with these guys. They are in 18th position. So they're battling with the number 20 car at the moment. That is for 17th position, of course, but that's Team Time Attack. They've just moved down on my screen. They've gone down to 19th place now, so they are still racing the HWB racing car in the number 19 now.
And they went up 2 places that last lap as well, which is quite important for them to be making their way through. As we were saying, we look at them now into turn 3. Seem just making so many adjustments on the lock to make sure that cart doesn't go around. Beautiful slide on exit there. They seem to have lost the number board off the back of their cart, so I'm not sure whether that might have had something to do with the penalty if they've had contact to it.
They could have had contact. Again, you could have had a black flag for mechanical issue with the car. The number falling off could be classed as I'm not too sure. But these guys still having a really close battle out there. Great control in these conditions. And I say, this is why you want to put your striker out now in these conditions. You know, it's the trickiest part. You need some good lap times out there. And one of the other camera lenses has just been wiped. It was very funny on our other screen. You couldn't see it, but it was quite amusing to watch. But more drivers going around. It's all Misfit Mafia. They're in 24th place. Oh yes, the number 15 car. That is on my piece of paper is Think 7. So Think 7. I'm not sure where they are on the order.
They're right at the bottom.
I think they're right at the bottom. Yeah, 29th. Yeah, so that is our last place team. Think 7. They have just set their personal best though. 120.924, so slightly off pace, 11 seconds.
Yeah,
I think, yeah, 11 seconds. But of course, you know, some of these teams are very new to this circuit. This is my first time here. I've never done here. Yeah, exactly. So you've got 2 commentators who have never been to the circuit before, commentating on it for 24 hours. Whose idea was that? Here's the number 25 and 24. So you've got Buzzing Pals Racing. We spoke to them on the grid as well. Now they're racing with the 24 car. I think they're lapping them, to be fair, because the 24 is Red Camel Racing. So they're down in 23rd. So these guys having a good scrap, but they're not actually racing for position, and that's what you've got to keep an eye for on the timing screen. So of course I could have a great commentary moment of talking, oh, this is a close battle. Oh, it's not actually for position. He's been lapped. Yeah, he's been lapped. But here's the number 1 and the number 9. Now, this is for position, I believe. I think this is for second position. It is indeed. So this is Bromo Racing and Club 73 Karting. Now, they've caught up to each other, but still opening that gap to Brentwood Banter. They're the number 6. They've still checked out. So Bromo Racing and Club 73 Karting still having a very close battle out there. There they are, the number 1 and the number 9. They have got a back marker in between them. That's the number 30. That's No Idea. Again, great team name. Got no idea why it is, but there you go. But still, because you're going to get these all night. Yeah, Club 73 Racing, again, still one of the Pro Karts. So your Pro Karts are still dominating the top 9. LMS still 10th place, and that's still your first place in terms of the Clubman, and in the top 10. But these guys, I think they're starting to slow down now. I'm looking at some of the sector times, and they are a bit slower than the Bromo Racing. Sector 1, 25.1 from Club 73, 24.6 from Bromo Racing. Sector 2, 28.6 from Club 73, is 28.9 from Club 73. So yeah, they're really I think they're starting to struggle now, and I don't know if they did a driver change, but it's definitely the sector times are dropping the number 1 kart.
Yeah, and they really need to keep around traffic though here, as there's the number 20 between the pair of them. That's Team Rango, who once again they top the time sheets in. Oh, look at that, coming into shots sideways around Cafe Corner there. I bet the whoever's driving the number 9 at the moment is going to have a fantastic view of it. He'll be laughing his head off. Down the inside of the traffic he goes, tries to keep the momentum, but we've been saying this, that the outside line has been working a lot better around most of these corners here, more than the inside. And it was interesting to note as they go down the hill.
Some yellow flags.
Oh, that's the 23.
The 23, yeah, I'm not sure who that was. 23 on my screen. Can't actually see it. I think they're quite far down. 27, 28. The 28th Hook 2, so it's one of the Stag Do teams. But still very close. After that incident, the number 9 is all over the back of the number 1 as we come through into it's in a sweep. This is turn 7 now as they come down the hill. Oh, who's that? That's the number 1. That's number 1. So that's second place team. They've gone wide. Has that given the number 9 kart to get past? Has he? I don't think he has.
I think he has.
He? Yeah. He has, yeah. So there he has. So yeah, the number 9 kart has got past, and the number 1 probably smacking his helmet there thinking, why did I do that? Yeah. So, but yeah, of course, 23 hours, 33 minutes remaining. You've got time to get it back, boys, don't worry.
Yeah, they certainly have, but it could have been down to a number of things, really. They were involved in a battle with some of the traffic, maybe just trying to get that extra bit of time, or go for a more sort of brave move to make their way through and then hope that it hinders the kart behind you, but it didn't work out for them. But that's these risks that you've got to take in motorsport on any level. You have to really go for it when you get your chance. Give it whatever you can. Just noticing as well, down Simon Sweep, that's where the puddle is on the inside of the corner where the apex is. You can tell that none of them have been clearing it away.
Yeah.
Number 30 kart there having a little look down the inside of who he was fighting with, but this is the one at the moment. Not even a second between them as they crossed the line last time. You can see it slightly drying out a little bit there at the exit of turn 3. But you've got to really...
Is it?
I thought it was.
What were you looking at? Were you looking at your screensaver? It's soaking, man. What are you talking about? Right, so let's try and have a look at who the drivers are in these cars.
Number 1 off again.
Oh, well, off again for the number 1. I'll try and find out who that driver is.
It's Bromo again.
Yeah, it's Bromo Racing. So I think it's a green wristband, isn't it? Is that Luke Walker, I believe, in the kart at the moment? So that's Luke Walker. Really struggling with the conditions round only one of the corners, turn 7. Sounds sweet. So only that corner. Why do you think that corner?
I think the puddle. I'm going to blame the puddle.
You're going to blame the puddle.
He doesn't want to go near it, so he's trying to get as far away from it as he can.
There's yellow flags in that sector again. It's one of the carts, the Clubman carts, the 26 that's gone off in that same corner. But yeah, it is a very tricky corner there. I think it's purely because it's... I wouldn't say it was off camber. I'm looking at it now. I've kind of sit back in my chair. I'm kind of relaxed now. I'm looking out the window and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying myself here. But it looks cambered to me. It looks like it's a positive camber. But it's just the downhill part of it. Oh, there's a bit of contact between two of the teams as well. When you actually watch the race, you really see a lot more. It looks like the 20 car as well. But yeah, that one there. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Sorry, it's one of our producers has just turned to us. What are you talking about? There you go, this corner. So yeah, there we go. He's found it. He's got his hands out. Arms in the air. He's happy with himself now as some of the carts go through. But yeah, really interesting corner, this one. I say it's downhill. You've got the momentum out there as the number 18 pointing at his helmet.